Welcome back once again to the Ha! My name is Boulia. I am the station manager of Elon Student Television, your sponsor for this evening. I am so excited for us to get underway with our second Ha event of the semester. The Ha has been one of my favorite projects while I've been here at Elon. It's a really awesome way that we get to have a really awesome night of laughs with a lot of awesome people. We also get to support a local cause that's important to a lot of our comedians and to a lot of our students. For those of you who are aware, we're fundraising tonight with a profit share with Oak House, so make sure you're buying drinks and having a good time. We are profit sharing with Oak House for Hurricane Helene relief in Western North Carolina. I'm not going to stand on this soapbox for long, but Western North Carolina is incredibly important to me. I'm a native to Raleigh, and I have a lot of friends that are up at App State and in the Western North Carolina area. Seniors that went to Nashville, I know that your highway route was impacted by a lot of the damage that's been done, and we just really want to spend tonight with amazing comedians, lots of laughs, and raising money for a cause that's important to a lot of us. So thank you all for being here. Woo! And especially thank you all for continuing to support one of my favorite events that I've been able to be a part of since my freshman year at Elon, and I am so excited for you all to see what we have tonight. I'm going to turn it over to our master of ceremonies, if you will, the one, the only, Max White.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you very much. One more time for Lauren. Can I get a ha ha ha? Oh, and only this side now? Ha ha ha? Guys, that's all you need to do tonight. We're so ready now. That's all you need to do. I want to touch on one more time something that Lauren mentioned, that tonight is a profit share. If you buy a drink tonight, it goes towards, part of it goes towards hurricane relief, which is pretty cool. There's a bar here. It's basically a school-sanctioned blackout. It goes for a good cause, which is something that I've been looking to hear for a very long time, which is great. Anyway, I see some people already have drinks. Did anyone get coffee? No, that'd be weird because it's nighttime. Don't get coffee. Yeah. Oh, there you go. So that's like half of a coffee. That's pretty cool. I recently started drinking coffee because I felt like my breath smelled too good. I wanted to change that. And I don't know if anyone else feels this, but whenever I drink coffee, I don't know. My intrusive thoughts go to like 11. I don't necessarily feel like more awake or like hyper-focused. I'm just significantly more aware of not punching people that I see on the street. Like, that's the only thing that I'm trying to do when I drink coffee. I just become more violent. I don't know. I feel like I should say that. But the reason I bring it up is because I'm concerned that if that's true for me, it might be true for everybody. And I see a lot of bus drivers drinking coffee, and I don't know, my driving instructor harped on it so much that a car is a weapon. And I don't know, if people are drinking coffee out there, you might want to look both ways when you cross the street. That's just like been on my mind recently. But speaking of violent and crazy people, our first comic is from Florida. She is also the president of the New Works Club here at Elon. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Grace Minton.
Hi guys, I'm going to start us off with a poll. How many people here have a fear of sitting down on a toilet and a snake coming up through the pipes and biting you in the ass? Oh no, oh my god. I was so afraid no one would say it. Thank you guys, the rest of you are liars. I think this fear manifested itself in me when I read the second Harry Potter book. Because I was already afraid of snakes. Spoiler, there are snakes in the pipes in that book. It's like the main thing. It's been out for like 20 years. If you didn't know that, that's on you. But after reading that book, I was just so paranoid. I could hear them in the walls. I could feel them in my skin. I'd be laying in bed at night and the hair on my arm would like twitch. And I'd be like, what the fuck was that? And I'd strip my bed, turn on the light, and just like search my entire room for a snake that wasn't there. That's not the right page. I think that might also be a Florida thing. I've just heard too many stories at this point. I guess people are always surprised when I say I'm from Florida because I guess I just like don't fit that like Florida man stereotype. But every now and then I'll say or do something and everyone goes, oh, there it is. Like, I'm pretty good at killing flies. I can just like, with my fingers. Or like one time I was at home and I was FaceTiming my roommate Sarah over here and I said, you know, my dog caught one of the lizards in my bathroom today. Which I didn't realize was an odd statement until the time came out. Sidebar, when I was in like 3rd grade, I watched a documentary of a lizard like morphing into a snake. So for a brief period of time, I thought lizards were snakes with legs, which kind of explains my fear of like finding one in my toilet. But anyway, by far the most Florida thing about me is there's a room in my house full of animal carcasses. My dad hunts, which I don't like. I will preface that, I don't like this, but there's like a taxidermy duck, a deer, a cowskin rug, a turkey, and do you know how embarrassing it is when I come home, bring my friends home from school, and I'm giving a house tour, I'm like, this is a study, don't go in there if you're vegan. My voice teacher in high school was vegan, and our piano happened to be in the study, so every Thursday at 4:30 p.m., she was confronted with everything she stood against. And I think she almost had a heart attack one day when she sat down on the piano bench, looked up, and found herself staring into the empty eye sockets of an elk skull. And I felt terrible. What do you say to that? I was just like, I'm so sorry, I don't support this. I've never killed anything, just like bugs. And then one time I got really panicked and flushed a lizard down the toilet, but I felt really bad about that. I am starting to understand why people think Floridians are batshit though, because we don't take any threats seriously. Obviously Hurricanes Helene and Milton just came through, and everyone else had a normal reaction and like took precautions. In Florida, we're completely desensitized to hurricanes. Because growing up, we had hurricane days instead of snow days, which sounds really sad, but because everyone from up north goes, oh, like you're trapped inside all day, you can't like go out and play. Like, what do you mean? We still go outside and play. It's the same stuff, it's just melted. Everything's flooded, that's what the paddle boards are for. Or sometimes when the winds are really strong, we just go outside and dare the universe to blow us away. But speaking of, in all seriousness, if you want to take after us Floridians and buy a drink, you will be supporting hurricane relief. And that is my way of saying I'm sorry for making hurricane jokes. But speaking of drinking, in high school, I was trying to decide where to go to college, and I knew I wanted to get out of Florida for all of the aforementioned reasons, but mostly it all boiled down to I was so tired of feeling like I was constantly in a hot shower, and if I would have stayed in school, I would have gotten free tuition. So basically, I'm paying $40K a year to be at a comfortable temperature. When I say I mean my parents. They like to remind me of this when they're mad at me. And my brother stayed in school and got the free tuition, and which means that he is perfect, and I'm the expensive child. And you know what? I wear that like a badge of honor. I might as well own it because I have a lot of problems which cost money to fix. And so to that I say, you break it, you buy it. Half of this is genetics and the other is generational trauma. And you know, I'm a psych minor, so I can pinpoint exactly when and how in my childhood like things went wrong. And it's not entirely my parents' fault. Like, I was their first attempt at making a human, so there's bound to be some technical difficulties. And you know how parenting's like probably really hard. I've never done it, but I've done those like simulations in psych class. That's like kind of the same thing. And I mean, you think you're doing everything right, and then your child thinks she can hear the snakes. But you know how with like a second child, parents always try to like fix everything they did wrong the first time, which creates a whole other set of problems. So for instance, like crippling anxiety aside, I think I'm doing fine, but my brother is a frat boy at the University of Florida. And I've never understood like frats or hazing, mostly because of the hazing, but at Elon, as far as I know, it's fine. But in Florida, there are no rules. Nothing is off limits. And I asked my brother, like, why would you willingly put yourself through this? And he goes, like, oh, it's terrible, but it's nice to like, it's a good way to bond and build brotherhood. And I was like, okay, I guess that like makes sense to get closer to like the people in your fudge class. He goes, well, yeah, but also it helps you build a relationship between you and the people that are hazing you. Bestie, I think you just described Stockholm Syndrome. You lost 40 pounds in the span of a semester. This is not a symbiotic relationship. Thank you guys. You guys have been amazing.
Keep it going for Grace. Yeah. Is your brother okay? Is he doing well?
Yeah.
Is he out of it now, or is he still?
No, he's still in it. He loves it now.
He loves it now.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever you say. Okay. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. You've seen, or you can see our next comic at the Good Nights Comedy Club, or you can follow him on Instagram at eman_1251. Give it up for Emanuel Martinez.
Hey, how y'all doing? Good. First of all, thank you guys for coming. This is amazing. Thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day and donating anything to the hurricane relief. That's amazing. Thank you guys. Give yourself up. All right, now let's laugh. I'm in a good mood, man. I'm in a good mood because like my ex saw in my Insta story. That means she wants me. I miss her so much. Nah, man, she's cool, man. Anybody see that Trump was working at McDonald's earlier this week? All right. I think it's kind of neat. You know, I used to work in fast food, you know. My favorite part about that was when he was like, I like this job. I could work here. Trust me, my friend, you don't want to work at McDonald's. He only worked for 15 minutes. And it took him 15 minutes to make one large fry. Yo, watch the video. You can see the other workers in there losing their patience. There's a Hispanic lady in the back just... Apúrale, Trump. Quítate, Trump. I'll do it myself. I think it'd be funny. This is messed up, but I'm going to say it. I think it'd be funny if, like, all the workers were Mexican. And Trump was like, oh, thank you, my fellow citizens, for working for this country. Thank you. And meanwhile, Pedro and Julio are like, yo, he just called a citizen? I've been in this country for 15 minutes. I guess that makes us citizens now. Wasn't there also like an E. coli outbreak with McDonald's?
Yes.
I'm not gonna assume anything, but Trump picked a bad time to work at McDonald's. He's gonna lose that job. State Fair. Anybody been to the State Fair? Nobody. All right. One person in the back. All right, cool, man. Me and you are alone on this one, but that's cool. This dude, one of my friends told me today, hey, Thursday, if you take 6 cans of food, you can get in for free. It's Friday. Why would you tell me this now? That's like if you invited somebody to a New Year's Eve party on January 1st. You're gonna have to wait till next year. I don't know, man. Like, my favorite part about the state fair is trying all the samples. Don't get the chicken liver. My chicken was an alcoholic. But I do like the samples, like the pretzels, the candies. But I feel bad because I eat a lot, and like one of the ladies were like, "Hey, are you gonna buy anything?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna be here next year. I'm gonna buy everything." That was funnier in my head. All right, high school. We've all been there, right? Yeah, all right. I remember my first high school fight. Yeah. I went to a redneck school. There was like 2 Hispanics in the entire school. I was one of them, and my brother was the other one. This dude named Dylan, man, we got in a fight, but he started it. And he finished it, so I applaud his commitment. Yeah, man. And Dylan, he looked like a popular kid, you know. I gotta admit, I even tried to dress like him. There's one day he had a fresh haircut, I had a fresh haircut. He had a polo shirt, I had a polo shirt. He had Jordan 1s, I had and 1s, the same thing. He had his whole crew, he even had like 2 girls underneath his arms. I had my friend Nick. He was the Robin to my Batman. He'd be like, "Holy mackerel, E-Man, it's Dylan." But Dylan, he saw both of us, me and my friend Nick, and he was like, "Oh, look who it is, the wannabe white boy and his little gay friend." My friend Nick was like, "Yo, Dylan just called you gay." I was like, "I don't think he was referring to me, man." Yeah, man. And then he was like, "Yo, E-Man, he looks like his parents came here illegally." Which is true, but like, don't announce that to the class. I had to say something, but y'all, I'm not good at comebacks. So I was like, "Yeah, well, you look like you spend quality time with your dad." That's all I had. That's all I had, man. That's all I had. My friend Nick was like, "Yo, his dad's in prison." I was like, "Oh, shit." He got in my face, man. He got like this close, which honestly I don't like. I got a sensitive nose, so it kind of tickles if you're like this close. And he had bad breath. I remember him saying, he was like, "You better watch your mouth. You should watch your mouth." I was like, "You should floss." Push me. And then it was a big mistake on his behalf because I played high school football. I was third string kicker. Still got it. And I pushed him back. It wasn't like a good push. It wasn't like a linebacker push, but it was like a third string kicker push. Man. It was good for me. And Dylan was like, "Is that all you got?" Which really scared me because that was all I had. I gave it everything I got. And then the thing about high school is you're always gonna get a crowd. Sometimes students from like other grades. I think I heard my brother in the crowd going, "Yeah, beat that little Mexican's ass." I was like, "I got a fan." And you know the fight's going down when the other dude starts taking their shirt off, which honestly I wish Dylan hadn't because he had a button down. So the whole time he was just like, "Bro, you trying to seduce me or intimidate me? Pick one." I wasn't gonna take any of my clothes off, so I just started stretching. I was like, "All right, here we go, let's do this." Yeah, man, but he got a good punch in me, and I tried to play it off. I rubbed my nose, I was like, "Is that all you got?" Which really threw off Dylan because he punched me in the ribs. My friend Nick was like, "You're doing it wrong, E-Man." Sorry. Yeah, man. And I don't know anything about fighting, but I know one thing. I know the best way to fight somebody, to hit somebody, is when they don't see it coming. So I pulled out my keys, I was like, "La, la, 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 la." But then I got distracted. He got another one in me, bro. That fool hit me so hard, I started speaking Spanish. As soon as he hit me, I was like, ay, este güey me quiere chingar este güey. Oh man, at one point, I was on the ground. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I was on the ground looking at my friend Nick. He was like, you're doing good, man. It doesn't feel like it. Unfortunately, the cops came, which is one of the few times I'm excited to see cops, if I'm being honest. They took Dylan away, and I remember one of my classmates saying, oh man, they're taking him away. His parents are gonna be pissed at Dylan. And I remember my friend Nick going, well, his mom's gonna be mad, but his dad's gonna be happy to see him. Hey, thank you guys so much. You guys have been amazing.
Keep it going for Emanuel! I used to be so afraid to get in fights in like middle school and high school because I thought that shit would go on my permanent record. Has anyone ever seen their permanent record? No, that doesn't exist. That was just made so we wouldn't drink in high school. That was just a fake thing that people would talk about. Anyway, our next comic is in the Please Clap improv group that has a show next Friday. Let's go. And she's funny from time to time. Give it up for Sela Cornell.
Hi everyone. This one is going out to all of the siblings out there. Who here has a sibling? Woo! Mm-hmm. Gotta love a good old-fashioned brotherly love, rough and tumble, kicking and punching. Although I, of course, wouldn't know because I have a sister, and growing up, we fought like ladies. We bit and scratched each other. Much classier. And we've recently entered this golden era of siblinghood where we now look at each other and are like, oh my God, am I your friend? What? It's absolutely crazy. We also recently experienced sort of a sibling rite of passage that up until I experienced it, I didn't fully believe actually happened to people. And that was that we got in an almighty argument over who got to drink out of which water bottle for the day. My household has 1,001 water bottles. We want to drink out of the same one. And so, words were said, doors were slammed, and I'm on TikTok trying to keep my head on straight, and I get a text message from her. My first thought was, really? You couldn't put in the effort to walk 5 feet and knock on my door? But simultaneously, I also didn't initiate, so I have to give her the credit. And this was the text message. No caps, no punctuation. Mario Kart. I knew exactly what that meant. Of course I want to play Mario Kart. So we're getting the Switch set up. We're doing our thing. And I turn to her and I'm like, look, maybe this isn't the best idea. Because we tend to get a little riled up when we play Mario Kart. And we're already a little riled up. And I just have to say, if you haven't played Mario Kart with your sibling while you're both mad at each other, do it. Do it right now. It solved all of our problems. We worked out so much through that session. It was some miracle cancellation effect. Oh, there's one mad, there's another mad, they do something that makes them mad, and poof, no more mad. What do we think the Victorian child version of Mario Kart would be? Imagine two Victorian siblings get into an argument. And, while they're cooling down, one of them receives a scroll of parchment from the other, and on it just says, snakes and ladders. And the other one's like, oh, of course, sibling, I would love to play snakes and ladders. And then they deal with all of their issues over a nice game of snakes and ladders. I also learned that snakes and ladders has supposedly been around since the Victorian era. Because, let's be honest, the Mario Kart would kill a Victorian child. It would put them into a coma. Wait, let me rephrase that. A car would put a Victorian child into a coma. The thought of a car would do that. But with Mario Kart, everyone seems to have a main, right? Their main character, they always choose it. They try and pick others, and it's just always they come back to the same one. And it says something about you. It really does, and you really announce to the room what kind of person you are. So I'm going to name just a couple off the top of my head because you should be aware. If you play Peach, That's a classic, right? You can't really go wrong with Peach, but you 1000% have commitment issues. You tried playing Daisy once, and it didn't go well, and so now you're never gonna try playing another Mario Kart character again. I mean, at least play Baby Peach. Come on, there's some variety in that. Now, if you play Toad, you think that you can do the Toad voice. It's your one claim to fame. You want to bring it out at every single party. You can't wait for someone to ask, oh my God, you can do the Toad voice? Do it now. But the truth is you can't do the Toad voice. You're just screaming. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to accept defeat. You can pick another character from time to time, and please, for the love of God, stop doing the Toad voice. If you play Bowser, thank you. Thank you so much for announcing to the entire room that your dick is absolutely huge. I had zero doubts before this, and now it's just, they're all set in stone. I have no doubts anymore that your penis is enormous. And if you play Yoshi, you're gay. I'm sorry if I'm the one to bring this to light. It's just how it goes. If you're out there, you're like, I play Yoshi and I'm not gay. Just go home, take a step into your closet, stand there for a second, breathe the stale closet air, and then step out. And see if your worldviews have changed at all. I'm just saying. Especially if you play as one of the colored Yoshis. If your go-to is like pink Yoshi, yeah, that's a gay. Signed with much love and respect, somebody whose Mario Kart main is all the colors of Yoshi. Thank you very much.
My dad plays as Yoshi. I'm gonna make a call after this. Anyway, one more time for Sela, everyone. Are we having fun so far? Yeah. How about the back? Is the back having fun? Sweet. Keep on laughing and buying drinks. We're having a good time. We're gonna keep it rolling. Okay. Our next comic is a queer disabled comic, poet, and filmmaker. Make some noise for Mackenzie James.
So I used Uber for the first time ever in my life this summer in LA. For context, I'm from rural, middle of nowhere, North Carolina. This doesn't, you can't do that there. It doesn't exist. I live in a land that's like lost to time, and if you call a driver, they're lost in a time loop. They won't find you. I'm from an area where if you told someone that they were gonna pay $20 to a stranger to take them across town, they'd think you physically like ripped your hand into their chest and somehow pulled out their kidney, and that was the payment. They'd look at you and be like, I got two perfectly goodly working legs, and I ain't paying nobody to ferry me across town like I'm the queen. I don't. I don't have two goodly working legs. I have this bad boy. I'm like the disabled Mary Poppins. So every time I get an Uber, it's kind of like a little adventure. It's so fun. And normally, it's like completely fine. People don't care. They're just doing their jobs. As long as I don't jump up at them, like step on it now across their throat, it's gonna be fine. They're gonna take me to Barnes & Noble like every other white girl who gets in their car. We're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be okay. I'm glad that didn't hit the guitar. Other times they have questions. I once had a driver look at me and ask, why didn't you tell me? Tell him what? That I have a bank on 47th Street to get to and I need him to hurry up? Come on, man, no one suspects the cane. But he wanted to know so much about me. It's like, what was he gonna do? Drive straight into the building so that I didn't have to walk an extra 3 steps? Like, oh, I love what you've done with the place. The dust and crumbling really gives it this modern vintage Victorian core. I must say, the dirt really brings out the color of your eyes. But he wanted to know so much, so we had this conversation and we found a solution. I never needed to have a medical consultation ever again because this man knows what I need. Full body surgery to replace every single one of my joints. Why didn't I think of that? While I'm at it, I'll like add x-ray vision into my eyes or like permanent elevator shoes into my feet so I can get just a little bit taller. Or like a bionic arm that could crush someone so I can get my debut in like a shitty Netflix documentary on serial killers called New Heights of Slaughter. Like the thing is, I can walk. I can do it right now. I've been doing it since I was really little. It's one of my biggest talents, so my mom's really proud of it. I have chronic pain, so the cane helps sometimes. Sometimes a hip likes to pop out. Like that. It pops out like that. It likes to pop out because I'm secretly like possessed by Shakira. And like unfortunately, surgery just isn't an option for me because if I'm getting it, I'm getting with the fucking X-ray vision and the technology just isn't out yet. It's so sad. But like, at least luckily for me, sometimes people are just delighted to see me with my cane. In the strangest way, I once had a driver who was a white man in LA with a stereotypical American name like Brian or Josh, and if you fit that description, I'm sorry, but if you know, you know. Your name needs to either be like Alexei or the most non-binary thing I can think of, like if your name is Gatherer instead of Hunter. Otherwise, I'm not feeling safe in that situation. So at the moment, it was Brian, like something like Brian. So things were already a little tense, and we have a group order getting into the car, and we're getting in. He looks at me. Just me, of 6 people. He only looks at me. He looks me up and down. Peg leg! He calls me this the entire car ride. This was a 20-minute ride, and it's just peg leg. He's asking me like, oh, what are you doing in LA, peg leg? Like, what are you studying? Where are you interning? And I'm explaining to him that, like, oh, I want to go into cinema. He's like, you're gonna go so far, peg leg. And I'm like, thanks. As long as Shakira doesn't break free again, I'm gonna be great. But the best thing is that I wasn't the only cane user in the car, because it just doubled for him when my friend, who also uses a cane, gets in, and he's like, 2 peg legs! Hell yeah! He was so excited to see us. He loved us. He didn't even ask our names, because we didn't order the Uber, so he didn't know us, but he just needed peg leg. He had picked us up from the zoo, and it was like we brought a personal exhibit into the back of his car. It was like 2 wild disabled in their natural habitat, on their way to Santa Monica Pier, where they're going to start an uprising with their bionic arms, rising into the sky with their elevator shoes like Godzilla. He was so excited to see us. And it was in the moment, it was a little upsetting, because like I've had a lot of issues because I have a cane, not the joint issues, just from other people. I've had people try to pray over me on the street, unwanted. I've had people immediately doubt me because of a stick. But he had so much whimsy and joy. He was so excited about it that it just kind of like evaporated. And I feel like I've connected really with peg leg. I think I am peg leg. And the real reason I don't want surgery is because I can't be a damn pirate anymore if I do. That's exciting. So Brian's actually on his way. We're taking a little trip to Wells Fargo. So you don't know me. This never happened. My name's definitely not Mackenzie James. Thank you.
Yarr, Mackenzie James, the queer pirate.
Okay. Our next comic is a triple platinum recording artist. You should be on the lookout for his next single, Sugar Daddy, coming out soon. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Jesse Riback.
I think I found it, guys. How's everybody doing tonight, huh? I'm gonna start with a song I wrote in Nashville, so it's a little country, but I need a special instrument.
Oh, yes.
Let me tune it real quick. It works, everybody. Are you ready? She picked the weed, she planted the flowers. I love it when we take our showers. She's the farmer's daughter. She fed the chicken, she milked the cow. Man, I wish she'd milk me now. She's the farmer's daughter. She washed the sheet, she made the bed, then she went and gave me. She's the farmer's daughter. We had a great dinner, I met her father. He didn't like it when I massaged her. She's the farmer's daughter. He pointed his gun and out I ran. It's too bad he's in the Ku Klux Klan. She's the farmer's daughter. He didn't like the Jewish comedian too much, I'd say. I hate recliner seats in movie theaters. They're too intimate, too romantic. Unless you're on a date, which I'm normally not. They're not good. I mean, I'm trying to watch 80 for Brady in peace, right? And this guy's laying next to me. And he starts offering me things. Popcorn, a Snickers, a couple of nuts. And then the lights came on, and something was a little off. He was naked! All right, I'm gonna do another song. This one's dedicated to that special time of the night. Hit it, J-Lo. I swipe into my phone. I dim my brightness down. I turn off my Bluetooth. I'm not connected to the speaker. I open my private browser. My private browser. What am I gonna watch today?
What's he gonna watch today?
I take out my lotion. I put on my glasses. I walk around the house to make sure nobody's home. It's time for my night with the private browser. What am I gonna watch today?
What's he gonna watch today?
I pull down my pants really, really low. It's time for a J-Ribs video. And I'm spent. Give it up for J-Lo, everybody. You know what else I've noticed? Nobody our age knows what the pound symbol is. The pound symbol is a hashtag, but we don't call it that. But we know hashtags. Hashtag FYP, hashtag made me smile, hashtag not guilty. Rest in peace, OJ. I had to learn what the pound symbol was the hard way. It was a Friday night. I was going to my grandma's house, as most cool high schoolers do. And my grandma was getting a massage. She told me she'd turn off the alarm and I could let myself in. I don't know why old people are so obsessed with alarms and security systems. What does she think people are trying to steal? her racist Aunt Jemima dolls. And her alarm is so severe that if you don't type in the right code within 10 seconds, the police are alerted and come to the house. So I walk up to the front door and I open it. And of course the alarm is not off. Lights flash, sounds blare, and I am scared shitless. I can imagine my grandma in the other room, completely relaxed, getting a massage. The lights are off. Meditation music's playing. She's flipped over for a happy ending. When all of a sudden, the alarm goes off. She yells, 8759 pound! 8759 pound! I have 10 seconds. I don't have time to think. I run to the keypad. I type in 8759. What the fuck is pound? And she's still yelling, pound, pound, pound. I start pounding on the door, banging on the door. Could that be what pound means? Or was she getting pounded by the masseuse? Who does she think she is, Deshaun Watson? I now have 2 seconds before the alarm turns off, and there are 2 buttons that aren't numbers, a star and a hashtag. It was a 50-50 chance, and I'd have to gamble. And it turns out, just like my father, I am a terrible gambler. So I press the star, and of course, the alarm does not turn off. Within a matter of minutes, the police are at the house. My grandma's outside, half naked, definitely not massage relaxed. And the policeman walks up to me very slowly. He says, young man, what seems to be the problem here? And all I could say was, hashtag not guilty. And my grandma's looking at me confused, befuddled, perplexed, like I'm speaking a different language. And she says, what the fuck's a hashtag? All right. I was hoping. Thank you. Yeah, come on. I'm gonna close things out with one more song. This song is a favorite of mine. It's called the Dog Song. Hit it, J-Lo. I am so excited. We're going to the park today. I hop into the car, my tail is wagging. I love our Hyundai Santa Fe. My head is out the window, my tongue is hanging out. I'm enjoying the breeze. We pass my girlfriend Roxy. Yes, she is my bitch. She loves when I come over and when I scratch her itch. We do doggy style. I jump on her back. My big balls fly in the air. Roxy is jealous. I'm going to the park today. But when we got to the park, it wasn't a park. It was a veterinarian's office. The vet pulled out his scalpel and started caressing my balls. Holy shit, I think I'm in trouble. Slice! Ow, it hurts! What the fuck did you do to me? I woke up 2 hours later with the cone on my head. My 2 balls were nowhere to be seen. I will never have kids of my own, but I guess it's okay. I am just mad. My owner took my balls away. Why did you do it to me? Why? Up next we have the host of the evening, a man of many, many talents. Please welcome Max White.
I always feared the day that I'd have to follow a song about a deflated nutsack. I never thought it would come true, but it did. It happened just now. You guys saw it. It happened. Thank you, Jesse. It feels good to be out here laughing, socializing with familiar faces. That's mainly because I've been going through a bit of a rough patch in my relationship with my phone recently. The last month, it's felt like the last few days before a breakup. Like I have the ick right now. I notice all of our gross habits together. It's constantly notifying me, demanding my attention. We still sleep next to each other, but I don't scroll like I used to. I don't know. You guys didn't like that one at all. You guys hated that. It's fine though, it's fine. I probably won't break up with my phone because there's no other option. I'm not gonna read a book, so I'll just go with that. Some things about my phone, they stress me out. Like, anyone else recently learned that people can see the past versions of edited texts that you send?
What?
Yeah, so if you edited a text and you clicked on the edited button, people can see the changes that you made and what happened. Yeah, I hate that too. That sucks. I was just walking around thinking that people believed I was spelling words correctly on the first try. That's not the case. They can see everything. I hate that. That's a bad feature. That'd be like if LinkedIn started notifying people every time you check their profile. They what? Well, at least Apple's not notifying your friends every time you stop sharing your location with them. They do! Alright, well, at least our government isn't tracking and selling all of our personal data. Since when? I hate all that. There's no privacy anymore. Makes me not want to use my phone ever again. So I'm going to do everything in my power to stay off of it. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to start turning on Do Not Disturb more often. It does nothing. It's about as useful as a mesh condom. It lets everything through. I don't think Do Not Disturb has ever prevented me or anyone from getting in contact with somebody. If I call somebody and the call bounces because you have Do Not Disturb on, you haven't prevented me from reaching you. You've just created a little game for me. How many times does it take to reach my friend? 3, 4, 5, 6, record? Let's go. Let's see how long it takes. That's a new high score for me. No, it makes me more spiteful. Like, think about your friends. What could they possibly be doing that is important? Nothing. Your friends are important. I'm sorry. There's no reason for them to have Do Not Disturb on. You've just you've made me do more work to reach you. You know what you did is you gave my thumb a workout. I did 15 reps of Notify Anyway today. I feel good. I feel toned. I look good. Do Not Disturb does work for one thing though, and that's political campaign texts. Oh my God, so topical. What did he write this today? Maybe. It does, don't clap. Don't clap for that. It does work on political campaign text. I made one big mistake this election cycle, and it was probably the most pick-me thing I've ever done. I registered as an independent. All my friends got jobs recently, and nobody texts me anymore. And so I thought, I don't know, it might spice up my life, repopulate my inbox. Honestly, I thought it would feel like two girls flirting or like fighting over me at a bar. Like, hey, I'll let you do whatever you want. I'll let you do whatever you want, but you can hold a gun. Who do I choose? But instead, it just feels like I'm picking sides in a divorce, which is way less fun. I don't think my grandmother would be happy with me mixing politics into my humor, at all. And she's not here, but she'll see this on Instagram, which is an app that she has now. Which is crazy because my whole life, she always told me, go outside, enjoy the sun, soak it in the nature, stay off the screens. But now she DMs me brain rot. What happened there? It's like she told me my whole life to never drink alcohol. And then I threw a party at her house. And when she came home early, instead of kicking everybody out, she shotguns a beer, does a backflip into the worm across the party. Like, Nana, no! Nana, please! Nana, no, don't do that, Nana. God, I gotta stay off my phone. I gotta stay off it so bad. Everything about it pisses me off. I called my friend the other day, he didn't have Do Not Disturb on. It rings once, twice, huge, 3 times, and then it goes to ring a 4th time, and I already have my answer. I know you're not answering the phone. If your friend answers past the 3rd ring, he's a robot or an alien from a different planet. Nobody answers past the 3rd ring. I have my answer. You're not picking up. But I wait. I sit. You can get rid of rings 4 through 9. We don't need them anymore. I have what I need. But I sit. I wait. I listen to the song, the ring the whole time, like a lost puppy at the front door. Surely they'll come back for me. They don't come back for me. I called my dad the other day. Well, actually, no. He called me, and I was in class, but we were wrapping up. So I return his call as soon as I leave, like literally a minute later. The notification still said now under missed call. And it rings out. Like, would you throw your phone into the ocean? Would you toss that thing into a volcano? Would you eat it? What happened to your phone? I know it's not more than a foot away from you, because it always is. You have nothing going on in your life. And if you lost it, I get something, because when I lost my phone, I faced consequences for that, and so this is a double standard that I don't like. I lost my phone, my first phone, my Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. Shout out! I'm all for the Samsung hate, but that phone rocked. That feeling when you first lose your phone, that just like, oh my God, it's gut-wrenching. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It feels like when you're going shopping with your mom. Like when you're really young and you walk and you look up and it's a different lady, it's just not your mom. Like, when did you lose her? You don't know. Are you gonna ever find her again? Probably not. Is this mother now? Probably. This is life. You'll never get it back. I lost my phone and I told my dad, and my dad made me go phoneless for an entire summer. So I didn't get one until school started back up in the fall. And that sucked, because it was the summer that all of my friends had phones. We could text and call about hanging out. I was sunbathing, and not on my phone. And I wish I could go back to that time in my life when I didn't have a phone, because I miss it so much. I would put my phone in a box and leave it in traffic if I could right now. And honestly, I've thought about it all the time. If it weren't for Duo Push, it controls my life. I can't go fucking anywhere without that thing. Honestly, delete the app. What's the school's gonna do? Nothing. They can't do anything. If we revolt, they can't do anything about it. Join me. Thank you guys. Thank you all very much for coming.
Thank y'all so much for coming out. This, I've said it before and I will say it again, is my favorite event we do as a station. I think it is such a great way for you guys to see our awesome student comedians. Give it up one more time. We have such a great time every time y'all pack Oak House like this. Shout out Oak House. Shout out y'all. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend. Good night, y'all.
Hug me.